News for us. Hi there, Kate.
Hi, Catherine. We're going to start out in Argentina, where the government has relaxed its more than decade-old measures controlling foreign currency. Argentines will now be able to buy dollars for their personal savings accounts, and the tax rate on dollar purchases has been reduced. Earlier this week, though, the government did announce new restrictions on international online purchases in an effort to stop foreign currency reserves from falling. Now, since the country's default in 2002, dollars have been the go-to reserve currency, but because of strict regulation, a black market has flourished. The government has been supporting its local peso on the financial markets, but stopped this week as the measures became too expensive. And Thursday saw the peso slide 11% against the dollar. In South Africa, negotiations are underway to end a pay dispute between platinum mining firms and tens of thousands of striking workers. One firm said it was losing revenues of about $9 million a day because of the strike action. Workers who have been blocking roads and throwing stones are demanding better working conditions and double their minimum monthly wage. Now, concerns about Argentina, as well as the political troubles in other emerging markets like Turkey, Ukraine, and Brazil, have seen a major sell-off in emerging markets this Friday. We saw major losses across the board here in Europe. The CAC 40 here in Paris closing down about 2.8%. Germany's DAX down 2.5%. The FTSE in London down more than 1.5%. Right across the board on Wall Street as well. The Dow down about 150 points as it heads toward its worst week of the year so far. We're going to turn now to Davos, where our business editor Marcus Carlson has been following events on day 3 of the World Economic Forum. Marcus, there have been a lot of politics taking place there today. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. It almost feels as if we've had political leaders lining out the door here in Davos during the third day of the World Economic Forum. Let me talk you through some of the headliners. John Kerry, for instance, the US Secretary of State, explained why the United States doesn't believe that Bashar al-Assad could remain as Syrian president. We also heard from David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, as he said he believed that the United Kingdom would be able to renegotiate its membership of the European Union. Another headliner that we heard from was Dilma Rousseff, as she tried to woo foreign investors at a time when the Brazilian economy is a little bit so-so. We've seen growth coming down. Those are just some of the headliners, as I say, Kate.
But the official theme of the day is still the environment, trying to turn the focus back onto the issues of climate change and energy.
Yes, absolutely. For the first time in Davos history, the World Economic Forum named Friday the Climate Day. This at a time when greenhouse gas emissions, according to the World Economic Forum, are still just too high. And in connection to that, we've also heard a discussion on energy and on shale gas in particular. There seemed to be a shale gas revolution underway in the United States. The United States has seemed to be growing a lot quicker than Europe, for instance, and this partly thanks to shale gas. And when I spoke to the chief executive of Total, the French oil company, before, he said that he feared that Europe is falling behind in the shale gas race. Let's listen in.
That is my, let's say, real concern. We will be faced with new products coming from the US, especially plastics, to make things simple, which will come on our market at a cheaper price. Mm-hmm. We cannot compete against this. Shale gas, even if I don't think it will be never at the size of the US, shale gas is also an opportunity in certain countries when they accept to develop it.
All right, that was Christophe de Margerie speaking to me earlier. And for more on the shale gas revolution now, I can turn to Fatih Birol. He's the chief economist at the International Energy Agency. Welcome to the program. It's a pleasure to have you here. Now, you're one of the most respected analysts when it comes to energy markets. Do you agree with Christophe de Margerie that Europe is falling behind in the shale gas race?
Completely. In fact, it is what we have been warning since 3-4 years. The problem is the following. Not only that the United States has a lot of gas, but it is very, very cheap. Europe now uses natural gas 3 times more expensive than the United States. And this puts a lot of burden on the European industry. Iron, steel, petrochemical, cement, pulp, paper, they have to use a very expensive energy. And this puts these energies, this puts companies in a disadvantageous position vis-a-vis their competitors in the United States. So they are going to lose a lot of market share, which at the end of the day may have implications for the employment in these industries. Today, in Europe, 30 million people are employed in these industries, and this may well have negative implications for these people and, beyond that, overall for the European economy.
But Europe has pledged to cut down on its greenhouse gas emissions. Isn't shale gas and shale oil going in the exactly opposite direction?
So it depends on, for example, in the United States, since natural gas replaced coal, we have seen a decline in the United States carbon dioxide emissions, which is a good news for the United States. But natural gas alone cannot bring us to our climate goals. We have to have more efficiency, more renewable energies, and in my case, I would like to say more nuclear power in order to reduce our carbon footprint.
But a lot of European countries, France in particular, they say that they're sort of dealing with shale gas using the precautionary principle because there are a lot of concerns about the environmental impact about shale gas. Aren't they right to use this precautionary strategy, basically?
In Europe, in UK, Poland, France, and other countries, we have shale gas deposits. They are not as rich as United States, but they could be helpful if they were to be developed. However, as you say, there are some legitimate concerns about the shale gas development, contamination of water, release of methane. But these problems, which are real, can be minimized, even nullified, if the right technologies, if the right investments are done by the investors, by the companies. So companies have to pay a bit more money, fix those problems, and make use of the shale gas and contribute to the growth of the economy. This is what I would suggest.
All right, Fatih Birol, thank you very much indeed, Chief Economist at the International Energy Agency. And with that, I'm going to throw it over back to you in Paris. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Marcus Carlson there, our business editor in Davos. Do stay tuned to Live from Paris. We'll have the news and the world this week coming up next.